Let me break it down for you. Before 1776, the globalists would just hit you with their sidekicks. They'd hit you with their roundhouse kicks. They'd put their power right out in the open for all to see. But they learned from the French and American revolutions that the people won't just tolerate being bullied. They'll stand up to tyranny when they see it. And they learned that they had to go underground. They had to be deceptive. They couldn't just stand out in the open for all to see, throwing their roundhouse and sidekicks. No! They started using the most deceptive kick in Taekwondo. They started using the back kick. I have the documents right here. They're telling us what they're doing. It's right in front of us. But here's the good news. The world is waking up. The global elite are scared. They're scared because we know what they're up to. Play the clip on how to do the back kick.
Let's learn how to do a back kick, the most deceptive kick in Taekwondo. If I'm sideways to my opponent in a guarded position, I'll start the back kick by lifting my lead heel. This allows my front foot to pivot. Next, I'll turn and look over my back shoulder. Notice here that my front foot is now rotated so that my heel is pointing toward my target. From here, I'm all set up to kick straight back and use the heel of my foot to strike with. Now the back kick is a little bit different from a turning side kick. If I'm doing a turning side kick, the process would start the same. I would lift that front heel, turn and look over my shoulders, but here's where things go a little bit differently. If I'm doing a turning side kick, I would open this hip and this shoulder so I'm in the side kick position. However, if I'm doing a back kick, I would keep my shoulders relatively fixed and keep my hips in this position. This kick would be more like a horse or mule's kick, in that it goes straight back and the knee doesn't flare up and out like it would for a side kick. Why would I want to do it this way? Simply because it's faster and less predictable. So if you watch back kicks occur in sparring matches, they're usually that variation. If you put it all together, it should look something like this.
The New World Order may be kicking people around the globe, but you can join the resistance. Go to tkdguide.com to supercharge your Taekwondo and say no to world tyranny.
Now you may be wondering why I say the back kick is the most deceptive kick in Taekwondo. Now that really comes about when you add the jumping component to it. To do a jumping back kick, you'll want to pick up your feet and knees in this fashion. It can be helpful to practice picking up your feet and turning so that your back foot becomes your front foot. Once you have that feeling in your body, simply add the back kick as practiced before. The jump back kick is deceptive because you can essentially run away from your opponent while kicking at the same time. It's hard to demonstrate without a real person here, but imagine someone rushing in toward me, perhaps even throwing a kick at me. If I start close, you'll be able to see my retreating motion. From here, I'm going to act as though I'm turning around to run away, but as they come in, they're then hit with my kick. In this way, having a good jump back kick can be like setting a trap for your opponent.
The globalists love freeloaders because they're easy to control. Say no to the world elite. Don't be a freeloader. Give me a thumbs up.
The most common mistake I see with the back kick or jump back kick is trying to kick too early in the turn. If I'm set up to hit my opponent and I lift my kicking foot before turning and looking, I end up with this sort of hopping effect. If you're overzealous, if you try to go too fast too early, you won't get the fundamentals of the kick. Break it down in the beginning, turn and look, see your target, and then kick straight back. If your back kick looks something like this, it means you're over-rotating, and it probably means you're too far away from the target. Get a little bit closer and let that leg go straight back.
The question is, now that we know the back kick, should we use it against them? Should we use the power of the ring to destroy the enemy? Should we become the Sith? Now that I know the back kick, I will politically back kick you so hard that your eyes fall out of your sockets.